Welcome, my dear viewers, to another video on Onward. Because my last video was criticized for fueling the flames of the rift between the PCVR community and the Onward Quest community, I thought I'd redeem myself by providing you some platform agnostic tips for beginners who want to play the PvP modes. So, I do assume you have started up the training and did the basic training tutorial and the intermediate practice match. What is my first tip? It's, paradoxically, starting up in single player and entering the shooting range. And bear with me, this will only take a few minutes before you can hop into the action. So why are we going here? Well, reason is your loadouts carry over. You have 4 classes, and I'd advise you to set up each class on both sides. And if I click into it, you'll notice you have 2 loadouts, and I strongly recommend making one loadout for day maps and the second loadout for night maps, so you can switch easy between those two. Yeah, your fellow players will thank you if you don't take several minutes between each round to set up your game or your loadout. Set up at least both rifleman loadouts, one for day, one for night, for both sides, and if you have the time or the patience, go through every class on every side, on each side, to set up your loadouts. So, what are my loadout tips? For beginners, I wouldn't actually bother with marksman class or even support class, but focus on the rifleman, because this is the most versatile class in the game. And as I said, the gun isn't as important, but you need to bring 2 things. One is a non-magnified sight. You can either use the holographic sight or the red dot sight or the OEG red dot, whatever you prefer most. And the other one, you don't need it with the AEG, but with other guns, is a foregrip, because this helps you control recoil. Concerning armor piercing, you don't need armor piercing rounds for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, armor doesn't work right now. But even if it would work as intended, I never bring it, because it usually just makes killing taken 1 shot less, which is insignificant. Also, AP rounds drastically limit your ammo supply. You only have 2 spare mags instead of 4. Also, don't bring traces, because traces work both ways. While they light up the enemy position, they also make you very easy to be pinpointed. Don't bring body armor. Where is it? No, it's not there. It's here in equipment. Body armor right now doesn't work at all, but even if it would work, it only slightly increases your survivability. That bringing it is not worth the 2 points. A side note, because I just saw it, I don't know if you saw it, going back to the loadouts, the laser is not that useful, and it works both ways. With night vision goggles, you give away your position really easily. If you haven't set up your loadout, if you're downed, or if you're killed and waiting for the round to end, you can always edit your loadout, and you'll edit it for the other team. We were Marsok right now, and I can edit my loadout for Volk now, so I have it ready for the next round, when I will be spawning as a Volk soldier. So, now we're here in the shooting range, and yeah, try out your guns. And yeah, just to demonstrate why you don't need magnification, I don't even know if you make out the furthest target, but yeah, it took me 3 shots to hit it, but I hit it. Now, you don't need a magnifying scope for long range engagements, and having the red dot makes target acquisition just so much more quick. Why using the foregrip? So you can keep the gun on full auto and still be controllable. Oh, because this is a VR game with motion controls, some fundamental truths of traditional pancake first-person shooters are not true in VR, at least for some guns. Like reloading being slower than switching to your sidearm. Let me demonstrate with the Mark 18. Because it has a free dropping mag and a button bolt release, you can reload it. You can reload it pretty quickly. And back on target. So now, in comparison, if I were to switch to sidearm, still pretty quick, but not as quick. And it takes longer to reacquire the target. Unless you practice it really well and have your muscle memory down, which I have not. After you set up all your loadouts, or at least the 4 I specified, you can head straight into the server browser, look for a match, or choose matchmaking. But still, before I find there's one more thing you should do, and you should do it a few times. See this map here? There's a map of each level in the tent between rounds, and you can use it for more than just drawing dicks. To start out, to get your initial bearings, is do a mental or graphical grid like this. Because you see, this white dot here is the objective you need to attack or defend in uplink, and this map is always oriented the correct way. So this is north, this is east, this is south, and this is west. And after having this grip, it becomes quite apparent that the objective is straight south. And but you don't know where you spawn and which direction to go. So when you start the game, or when the game started, you use the initial pre-round time. You have 18 seconds. Pull out your mag, see the white dot here. This is where the objective is. And yeah, it's at bearing 180, which is south. And that means we are in the north of the map. Actually, these are the borders, so we know we're in the northeast of the map. If you do that for each map a few times, you get a really good grasp of the geography of it. You have a radio on your left shoulder, and use it. Keep your microphone activated, because this game is a game about information as much as it is a game about marksmanship. Use your radio to call out if you plan, like you're a blueberry. So let's say we spawned here, and you plan to attack the objective by going through here, and just call it out. Say you're going to go the west route to the objective. Same if you're defending and you don't want to stay near the objective, which is advisable, by the way, to do. But still, if you want to surprise the enemy, flank it. Say which direction you're gonna flank. So you might say, okay, I'm gonna rush through the central building and try to ambush them counterclockwise. And also, once you're there and you killed a few guys, and go back down here, back to the objective, in case somebody went that way. Tell your team that is staying there and defending it, tell them I'm coming back on the west side of the map. I'm circling around north side, trying to get in the objective from behind. Say you are in this window, guarding this way as a defender, and see some blueberries at these locations. Playground in that case. you call out. If you don't know, this is called playground. You say, I see enemy movement to the east, or to the northeast of the objective. Because the other players will know where the objective is, they won't know where you are. So always use a reference point. And the objective is always a good one. Also, you don't need to press the radio. If you're nearby, like him, he is able to hear me, as is the enemy. And you can spend the startup time usefully by memorizing the code. 53670. 53670. Which makes entering the code much easier and quicker. Fix 70. See? Quick and easy. Another important thing to do while waiting for the round to start proper is reloading your belt-fed machine guns. Because those are the only guns that come unloaded. The other ones do come loaded. So, as I said, you should never shoot them on spawn when attacking, because then they know which direction they need to defend from. So at the start you have a few seconds, and there's one thing you shouldn't do: never shoot, because it gives away your position to the enemy team and they gain valuable info. So, what are you to do if you are the last attacker? Well, it's fun in games. Staying back, sniping, you won't win the round for your team. And losing because time runs out isn't fun. So you do as this guy did and go for the objective and attack. Just because it's better to lose quickly than to take a long time, or to lose anyway. So if you're the last defender, like this guy, and he checked the map, he's aware he's the last defender. Okay, doing good. But it's good if you're the last defender to try to circle back to the objective. If you're not at the objective, just so you can prevent a cap. Because right now, because he's over there, okay, I guess he's getting shot. But if Rising Thunder were tactically more experienced, he would just run for the objective. Use that C-Stomp is distracted. Radio in his colleagues to not kill him, actually. They could run in, punch in the code, and get 2 victory points instead of 1. There's actually 2 states of death. Right now, I'm down. That means I'm not actually dead. I can be revived with syringes. And as long as I'm down, I can provide intel until I'm hit again. So I should have a radio somewhere here. Sometimes it's hidden. You need to click the ground a bit to find it. If you hit the click, you can provide intel. And if you're dead for good and you cannot be revived, you just get back into the tent. Okay. Since downed enemies can provide valuable intel, it always pays off to double tap them when they're down, so they're dead for good. So I move. Okay, so sometimes it's good to break engagement, especially when they know where you are and you can do it. And reposition yourself. Oh, that was lucky. Oh, he was alive. So, double tap. So these were my platform agnostic tips for beginners in PvP. If you want to know more about a specific aspect of the game, just let me know in the comments. Also, if you like this video, please drop a like. Consider subscribing, despite my video usually being quite low effort. And yeah, on that, see you and good night. Oh no, this isn't my sidearm. Dropped it. Oh, I dropped it.